This ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by Red Square for ultimate activation. Hello and welcome to round 2 action of the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup here at Zwartkops Raceway. And let's start the day off with some wise words from Apanaganapathy.
Think of something wise to say.
I feel like I'm looking squint.
You are squint.
Yeah, it's just very close.
Those were not very wise words at all. Johan Fourie down in the pits having a meeting, obviously a briefing for what's going to happen for the rest of the year, not knowing the uncertainty around the circumstances that are in motorsport at the moment. So all the riders just paying attention there before they get those Bridgestone tyres fitted and head out onto the track for race action. There is Graham from Pretoria. He is the man to be double winner at round number 1 and championship leader. But he's got the likes of the Agliotti brothers are in the house. Michael Smith, Johan Leroux, John T. Collard, all in the mix for those top 5 positions. Gareth Bazano as well, Teddy Brooke, all smiles down the pit. There's Ian Hardwood and Landy Sinden just getting their race faces dialed in, ready to go out on track. Some of the newcomers, Landy Sinden, one of our lady racers in this category, and there's a stalwart of this class, Henk Scaling, races everything there is to race in South African motorcycle motorsport. Joining me in the commentary booth as always is Dave Peterson. And Dave, 23 bikes on this grid, ZX10 Masters Cup. This is why it's one of the stalwart classes in South African motorsport.
Rob, it is the most professional run category in South African motorsport at the moment, as you say. And what a show these guys put on. They're masters, so the average age probably around 45, I would say. So these guys have been around a long time, but that doesn't mean out on the track that they are slow. These guys are putting in some impressive lap times, and they're a great bunch of people who ride in this category. And if you're thinking ever of going racing motorcycles in your old age, in your retirement, this is the place to do it.
Definitely, like you said, you look at the lap times all the way through the field here today. It is really impressive stuff. And we always have those little groups of battles forming all the way through the field, and they really do get those elbows out and bash those handlebars. There's Graham from Pretoria, the big number 1 plate on that bike. He is your championship leader after round number 1. But Jordan Agliotti, Michael Schmidt looking on form coming into this race weekend, as well as Johan Leroux. You can never count out the C-class rider there, one of the elder statesmen. John T. Collard, Gareth Bazano, Teddy Brooke on board here with Teddy Brooke now as he comes to the grid, lining up on the 3rd row of the grid.
This is it. We're waiting for race number 1 to get underway, and we'll join you after the break for race action from the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup right here at the Zwartkops Raceway. Who is going to be the winner of our race 1 amongst these 23 motorcycles here today? We'll see you right after the break.
Hello and welcome back to Zwartkops Raceway. It is time now for race 1 action of round 2 of the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup. The wind's picked up ever so slightly here, so that might be a little bit of a curveball. Always great to see the family atmosphere here at Zwartkops and the Extreme Festival of Motorsport. Husbands, wives, family members all down in pit lane now, getting ready on board here with the pole position man, Jordan Agliotti. He's got one over Graham from Pretoria. Can he pull it off now in race number 1?
Waiting for those lights to go out. There goes Henny, the flag off to the side of the track. Green flag at the back. Matter of seconds. Red lights on, red lights off. And away we go. Does Agliotti get the whole shot? No, he lifted the front wheel. Doesn't look like he's got it there, Rob.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of momentum with that front wheel going up. It does look like Michael Smith's in there. There's Ian Harwood going around the outside. Landy Sinden, the lady rider, also trying to make moves. Safiso Temba in there on the King's Price Extreme Machine. Coming through, filtering through turn number 2. 23 bikes trying to find a piece of tarmac that's not being occupied. And coming through turn 3 and 4. This is going to be all about fighting, getting those elbows out, but it is Michael Smith, your early race leader.
Right on his tail, Stefan Udi Stocks, Graham from Pretoria. From Pretoria will just suss it out. He'll see what Michael's up to. He knows he's got a long time, 12 laps to make a move on him. So from Pretoria, ever so confident, got that bike dialed in very well at the moment. His dad and Peter Labuskakny have done a lot of work on their motorcycle for this race. Oh, Teddy Brooke running up on the inside. Where was he going?
Teddy Brooke on the inside of, looks like Jacques Ackerman there as we go on board with him, coming into turn number 6. Got to be careful. This is the first left-hander at full anger. Gets it a little bit wide there, misses the apex, coming into the final turn. Beautiful slow-mo shot as Michael Smith goes in there. Graham from it, Jordan Agliotti holding third place after that terrible start. Trying to look, where's his brother? There's Keith Agliotti, and John T. Collard looks like he's also coming for the ride. So we could have a potential 5-way battle for that podium finishes.
And already on the first lap, the lap time, they're down to one. From a standing start, Rob, 1 minute, 7 seconds. Oof. That's pretty quick. But look at the angle that these guys are getting coming out of there. Pana Ganapathy, who we saw earlier on in the pits with the white helmet and the orange visor, come down into turn number 2. And Michael Smith still leads the way.
This is exactly what Jordan Agliotti would want to see. He'll know that Fromberdar's not getting away. He's got to try and stay on his biggest challenger. Doesn't have to worry too much about Michael Smith, although having said that, Schmidt looking very comfortable at the front, and our leading 3 riders have now pulled away from that battle. There's Johan Leroux just behind Keith Agliotti, who in turn is just behind John T. Collard, who's a little bit up the road there. Once they get full heat into these Bridgestone tyres, we're going to see those lap times tumble. From Bredar already starting to make inroads. Like I said, the top 3 gone away. There's that mid-pack, and then just behind them we've got a 5-6-way battle for the top 10.
Now you've got Sanjeev Singh out on track, just behind Teddy Brooker, Panaganapathy, Jacques Ackerman, Stewie Christie, our dog doctor, and Ruan Oberholzer right on their tail. Lefraz Fritz, look at him, he's in the top 13.
Yeah, Safiso Temba a little bit further down than he would want to be. They've spent a lot of time with Clint Seller on that bike. Not quite feeling too comfortable at the moment going into turn 1. Our race leaders, our top 3, Michael Smith, from Bredar, and Jordan Agliotti, literally that close. And then it's that little mid-pack behind them. There is Henk Scaling coming around. He's also looking to get inside that top 15. That'll be a good ride from him as we go on board now with the 3rd place man, Jordan Agliotti. That's turn 3, flat out in 4th gear. You're going to bang it down 1. Listen to him on the rev limiter, down to 3rd gear, up the hill towards turn 5.
He is screaming that bike. You know, Rob, if he didn't turn right there and just went straight, he'd go straight to Ridgeway Race Park, his sponsor, just up the road.
That's exactly where he wants to be after this race, but he wants to celebrate on the top step of the podium. Fromberdaar does that so often. He gets all kinds of out of shape. Maybe the front end sit a little bit too soft, but coming from that old GP background, he likes to get the braking done and carry that corner speed. Agliotti, though, Jordan Agliotti, that is, sticking with him, and Michael Schmidt doing a brilliant job at leading this race.
Smith is working that bike to the absolute limit. Fromberdaar still sussing it out, doesn't want to be too close in case Michael makes a mistake, but boy oh boy, what a race we've got on our hands here today.
Yeah, Dave, he has that battle for 4th, 5th and 6th place. Keith Agliotti just behind John T. Collard. Johan Leroux doing another brilliant job to hold in there, but cast your mind back to round number 1. Fromberdaar just checked out and cleared off both races. This time round, he's got a big challenge on his hand. This is the mid-pack dust. A little bit further back, Stewie Christie, Ruan Albazer, Lafranche Fritz, Henk Scaling, Aubrey Marais, and there's Ian Harwood. Another brilliant ride from him to try and get up into those point scoring positions.
We keep saying Ian Harwood has improved so much, and it really is true. Looking back off Keith Agliotti's bike, right behind him you see John T. Collard. So he's got Johnny Collard behind him at this point. Go back on board with Jordan Agliotti in 3rd place at the top of the hill. Listen to him scream this bike. Give it some sound here, and you've got the power going on ever so hard there.
There's too many Agliottis in this race. Jordan and Keith, a welcome to Red Square's ZX10 Masters Cup. They've reduced the age limit to 30. That is why we have them. And they've brought a whole new dimension to the race series and putting pressure now on from Bredar, who's in turn trying to get the move done on Michael Schmidt. So he's got to worry about in front of him and behind him, because his pit board will be telling him +0. Jordan Agliotti is right on your tail.
And Jordan Agliotti has got that bike sideways under the brakes at the moment, particularly at the final turn. Not sure why he's doing it so sideways there, but look at him squirt the power in as we come out of turn number 2. Right, so we've got another pass that looks like John T. Collard's got back ahead of Keith Agliotti. They're having a massive dice.
Yeah, that's going to be a seesaw battle all the way through this race. There's Henk Scaling on the inside of Aubrey Marais. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Ian Harwood, Cole Robeck, Safiso Temba, Wayne Spicer just behind him. There is Safiso Temba on the King Price Extreme Machine in that battle with Ian Harwood just ahead of him as we go on board with Henk Scaling. That dash is always in that red line.
I notice he's actually cleaned his windscreen this time around as well. So well done, Henk. At least we can see where we're going this time. But Henk Scaling, he's got a whole pack of riders right behind him. Michael Smith, top of the hill, still leading it out. Graham Fromberdaar, foot out as he bangs it in there. Now the big question here is, can they get him on the brakes coming down in the final turn? This could be the lap. Graham Fromberdaar looked really strong last time here.
This is the biggest fight that the champion's been in a long time, so he hasn't really been used to this kind of conditions, having to suss this out. He cannot play too many tactics here because he's got Jordan Agliotti, who's of course second in the championship, just behind Fombidar, right on his tail. So he's got to play this out very carefully, although Fombidar, over 20 years of national racing experience, looks like he's going to line something up. Going into turn number 2, he gets the drive on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? No, he can't. Michael Schmidt really late on the brakes. Got the front end of that bike dialed in perfectly. All the meanwhile, Jordan Agliotti just sitting there and playing the waiting game.
Right behind them, Teddy Brook having his usual dice with Gareth Besaidnout. We haven't even mentioned him. Besaidnout up into 6th position after that start, so good to see him up there. Stewie Christie, the dog doctor, does come through. And right behind them, Lefraz Fritz on the Ruspin.com bike, and then it's Aubrey Marie on First Digital. There's the Landy Sinden dice going on. Oh, she's got a whole lot of riders behind her. Sophie Sotemba looking resplendent out there. Couldn't get any brightly coloured leathers than that, could you?
No, Fombidar on the brakes. He is trying to make a move, top of the hill, turn 5, but again, Michael Smith just closes that line. So Fombidar, don't know if it's a little bit of frustration here coming, maybe thinking he can go faster and up the pace, feeling the pressure from this man, Jordan Agliotti. Nice wide swooping line there, sacrifices the right to carry that speed all the way through the left on the rev limiter again. Agliotti is screaming the living daylights out of that machine, but he knows if he can get ahead of Fombidar, that's a vital championship points this early on in the season, especially with the question mark over the rest of the season.
And the rest of the pack come screaming down there. We've got Gareth Besaidnout, Teddy Brook, Sanjeev Singh still hanging in there. Great to see Sanjeev back in the series on his Kawasaki. Ian Hardwood, the bright... Is that yellow or green, Rob? I'm a bit colourblind.
I don't know. You certainly get seen out on tractors. Ian Harwood, of course, the Bridgestone man, one of the big men behind putting the series on. On the inside again, Fombidar cannot make it stick. Michael Schmidt is doing an excellent job at leading this race. He's not making any mistakes, and that's frustrating the champ at the moment.
Graham Fombidar will be looking up the inside. This is his best bet for overtaking, and he gets up on the inside. Michael Smith has to give way. Graham Fombidar hits the front. Now, will he streak away? Has Michael Smith been holding him up? Agliotti's got to do something about this. If not immediately, better soon.
Yeah, I can't wait too long at the top of the hill. The front is coming under pressure on the inside there. Alberhauser makes the move. Brilliant stuff. Old classic block pass move there on the inside. No room to go. Forced him wide. Fombidar is checking out. So exactly what you said, Dave. I think he has a little bit extra pace. Michael Smith was holding him up ever so slightly, trying to pull the gap now. And Agliotti knows he's got to get past Michael Smith sooner rather than later. There's a back marker in the way. Try and use that to his advantage.
Just to mention the back marker is Nigel Brunt on bike number 73, having his first outing in this series. He's absolutely living it. And I must tell you, he's got a great set of leathers. The colours on that bike are amazing.
And he's about 9'9" as well.
There's our sprint man, a punter, by the way, Rob.
with the man that has no wisdom down in the pits. They're coming through Nigel there. One of the biggest riders in this category, Jordan Agliotti. Is he going to line up a move at the top of the hill? Turn number 5. He's got to try and make it stick. He's got those EBC brake pads in there. Brake late sponsored on the inside. He does. This is the final lap. He's closing onto the back end of Fombidar as well. This is going to be a half a second splitting our top 3 riders. The final stages now. Who's going to pick up the win?
Jordan Agliotti has got the bit between the teeth, but I think Graham Fombidar on the Steph stock bike might just be too far to go around the outside. Jordan Agliotti thinks he can go around the outside. Graham Fombidar says, no, you can't. You can't do that to me with my 65 years experience in this sort of racing.
That's exactly what he did. He closed that line. So across the line, half a second between your leader, Fombidar, Jordan Agliotti in second, Michael Smith, Johan Leroux, John T. Collett, Gareth Besaidnout, Teddy Brook, Sanjeev Singh. A welcome return there in a brilliant 8th place finish.
Just reading through the results, Rob, in 9th place, Apanaganapathy. Then it was Jacques Ackerman, Stewie Christie, Ruben Albalza, and Lefraz Fritz with Henk Scaling down in 14, picking up 15th place, Aubrey Marais. Let's catch up with 2nd place, Jordan Agliotti, who's braking ever so late.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. Good, clean racing, close racing. We all kept it together right until the line. It was within tenths of each other. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The lap times were consistent. Lap and lap again, we're putting them together. Very happy, ready for race 2, and yeah, see what we can make of it.
Welcome back to Zwartkops Raceway. These fans have been duly entertained by the race action from race number 1 of round number 2 of the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup. It's race number 2 action time now, and a little bit more of what we just saw in race number 1. Please, boys and girls, that was fantastic racing. And the riders are lining up on the grid here. Championship points up for grabs. Your championship leader, Graham Fombidar, he's got that edge over Jordan Agliotti at the moment after race number 1. On board here from Jacques Ackerman, all the way from Cape Town on his Mad Max Kawasaki machine. It's all about that important start going into turn 1 and turn 2 here at Zwartkops.
Lights are red, lights are off, and we get the start of the last race of the day here at Zwartkops. He's got all shot. Oh, Graham from Pretoria. Straight out front, Michael Smith on his tail. I don't think Jordan Agliotti got the best of starts right there.
Beautiful shot of all 23 bikes filtering into turn 1 and turn 2 here. Brightly coloured machines and riders out on track. Keith Agliotti, that's a terrible start for him. He's down in about 5th or 6th and Jordan's just ahead of him. So the Agliotti brothers have got a lot of work to do right in the mid-pack. Stuck here is Jacques Ackerman. You can see just trying to find a piece of tar where no Kawasaki machine is taking up. But carry the drive through and top of the hill is where you've got to make those moves. Michael Smith right on the back end of from Redon. Jonty Collard up in that final podium position.
Jonty Collard, great start from him. Sofiso Tembo on the King Price machine, looking really good. That's the best start he's had all year. So as we stream up the hill, a beautiful shot of the 24 motorcycles. Graham from Pretoria has already pulled, 2 seconds on the rest of the field. Teddy Brook takes his usual inside line on Keith Agliotti. So Teddy Brook looks like he's up for this one as well.
Keith not looking comfortable. He's got Johan Leroux behind him as well. So those two top contenders in the top 5 from race number 1 with terrible starts there. Jordan starting to make a little bit of inroad to that front 3 riders. Teddy Brook with a really good start, and look at them filtering down into the final turn for the first time. Aubrey Murray, good start from him, but it does look like Lafroche Fritz, another rider who's gone backwards. Oh, man down.
Michael Smith, it's Michael Smith who's gone down. I thought we missed him coming on the first lap. Here's a bit of a replay on board with Jordan. If you took it down the top left of the screen, maybe there he goes. Michael Smith crashing through turn number 4. Not a nice place to crash. Looks like he's okay though.
Big black line left on the tar from the front tyre there as we go back to racing conditions now. From Redor out front now, and it's Jonty Collard who's closed that gap. Jordan Agliotti as well. So again, another 3-way battle here. Jonty Collard has found something in the brake there. They've done something to that machine because he stepped up his pace and he's right in the mix now. He was nowhere near this kind of pace in race 1.
They're not far off lap record pace as well. So Jonty Collard, great ride. But look at all these riders as they come through their Dr. Bike number 65, Shuey Christie. Eastern Vet Animal Hospital. I'd love to be sponsored by them, wouldn't you?
He's got some nice needles with nice medication. Jordan Agliotti on the inside there. Goes up into turn 4. There's Keith Agliotti trying to follow suit on the Ridgeway race bar machine there. And Johan Leroux just ahead of him. Looks behind him. Does Jonty Collard at the top of the hill. You can see there he is. Oh, actually, it's not. It's from Redar. Something's happened to From Redar. He's lost 2 places in 2 corners now. We're going to have to watch out for our championship leader. Big number 1 plate on that bike has lost position. So let's keep an eye on him. He's now just ahead of Keith Agliotti and Johan Leroux coming into the final turn now. From Redar doesn't look happy on that machine. He's lost about 4 or 5 seconds.
I saw him looking down at the left-hand side of the bike as they went through that turn number 4. So Graham from Redar clearly has a bit of a mechanical issue with that motorcycle. Jonty Collard getting away at the front with Jordan Agliotti on his tail. Is this the first ZX10 Cup race that's been led by Jonty Collard in his whole race career? I think it is.
I think it is. So Jonty Collard, unknown territory there for him. He's going to get a nosebleed up there. But let's see if he can manage the race now. He's got Jordan Agliotti behind him. I wonder if Agliotti's board's told him that From Redar's got problems. You've got to win this race. This is vital championship.
From Redar's definitely got a problem.
He's definitely looking down the left side, and that tells me it could be gear lever related. Maybe Johan Leroux now. So From Redar is clinging on to whatever he can here at the moment.
Well, if he's stuck in gear, which is what we think there, Rob, with a broken gearbox, and Agliotti goes up on the inside of Jonty Collard. So Jonty Collard's leading this race, short-lived as Jordan Agliotti. He's got his head down behind the windscreen, hangs right off the bike as they're going to flick it left down the hill. Jonty Collard will do well to just stick on his rear tyre right now.
Yeah, Dave, I was just about to say that. I think Collard won't mind that move. He'll like the pace that Jordan Agliotti's setting, and he'll like to follow. Like you said, hasn't done a lot of leading in this series over the years. So let Jordan do the legwork out front. Keith Agliotti now up into 3rd place, and just behind him, there is the big number 1 plate of From Redar. So let's just see. He's definitely losing positions, and we think it could be gearbox related on that machine. So he's got to just try and pick up as many championship points as he possibly can. Johan Leroux just behind him. Teddy Brook also right in the mix. So From Redar, if he's not careful, could be losing 4 or 5 positions on the next lap.
Right on their tail is Sanjeev Singh, and we know how aggressive he can be out on the track. So what's happening is Graham is able to go through the corners as quick or quicker than anybody else as he does, but it's on these straights that he's losing out. Looks to me like he's stuck in one of the gears on the bike, and it's slowing him down by looking over his shoulder again just to see where it is. Probably about a second or 2 a lap that he's slowing down.
Oh, Jordan Agliotti, our race leader now, has got the pit board telling him that From Redar's got those problems. Just check out. You need to pick up point. Teddy Brook on the inside. So that's another position gone for From Redar, and he can't even fight back. You can see he's definitely got something big time wrong with that bike, and it's about holding on as much as possible, but he's down in about 5th or 6th place at the moment. That's still good championship points, but with Agliotti, Jordan Agliotti out front, he's going to be picking up big points. There is Landy Sinnen, and Nigel Brandt stepping up his pace. Much better ride from the big man.
And just behind them, Pelo Siete, we notice him out on the track as well. We haven't even mentioned him so far, so he's having a good return to the series as well.
Yeah, just a little bit further back, I'm having a look there. Really good rides coming from Carl Robeck, Henk Scaling, Safiso Temba with a much better ride. But now, From Bedar has got a giant target on his back. And those riders behind him, Sanjeev Singh, Gareth Bazenda, Panaganapathy, Jacques Ackerman, are all within striking range.
As we go into turn number 2 with the Cape Tonian Mad Max Kawasaki, Jacques Ackerman. Now listen, he gets the power on the ground, second gear. Scream it up into 3 and 4. Right behind him are the rest of this field, and it's great to see Aubrey Marais, Lafraz Fritz. Safiso Temba is having a great ride with Henk Scaling and Carl Robeck.
Landy Sinden, this has been a great introduction to Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup. Ian Harwood behind them, so not too sure what's wrong with the Bridgestone man. But Landy Sinden make the step up from her Milwaukee Yamaha R6 machine, Bridgestone Challenge rider last year, and mixing it really nicely now in the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup. From Radar, another position down on Sanjeev Singh. So it's more championship points going by the wayside.
Johan Leroux, how is this from Johan Leroux? He's right up there. It just shows what a good start can do for you. On board with Henk Scaling. This is that dice that's going on a little bit further down. Bike number 69, and he's got riders behind him are Carl Robeck. Safiso Temba, I think, is just up the road on him. So this is an amazing ride from Safiso, but listen to that bike screamer we see. He really gets the power down.
Yeah, Dave, like you said at the earlier part of the show, these are elder statesman riders, but the lap times that they are doing, they're not hanging around. From Radar is a man on the limit at the moment. He's obviously clearly stuck in a gear or some kind of gearbox issues, and he's holding on for dear life. John T. Collard still holding down second place, but he's going to have some company very soon from Keith Agliotti behind him. Dave, have we ever had two brothers on the podium in Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup?
This is remarkable. John T. Collard, he's feeling the heat from those Papa's pizza ovens. Just go up the inside, why don't you? That's an incredible overtake at the top there. That's what you normally do. Sanjeev Singh on Johan Leroux. Johan Leroux says, where did you come from? And he says, I come from Durban.
Yeah. Do you know I'm 60 years old and you're pulling those kind of moves? You said Sanjeev Singh doesn't mind a fight, and he just shoved it on the inside there. Obviously got a good set of pace here going on those Bridgestone R11 tyres. That's what happens mid-race. These tyres just get better and better. The rides get more and more comfortable. And this is when we're going to start seeing those lap times, especially further down the field here. Start getting comfortable, start putting those fast lap times. Panaganapathy, a little bit off the pace here this weekend.
Putting in good lap times. He's in 8th position at the moment. He's got Stewie Christie and Ruben Oberholzer behind him. Kind of stuck in no man's land there on bike number 77.
Yeah, it's because he had no wise words in the pits, so you need to start reading some books. Panaganapathy, and there we go, coming onto the back straight. That was Ruben Oberholzer. Another brilliant ride from that man. Teddy Brook, no man's land, but another great ride then from him. And from Radar, losing another position out there. He's got Gareth Bazenda. Gareth should be up there dicing for podiums. Not too sure what's going on with Gareth Bazenda at the moment. Let's hope that he can sort himself and that bike out for the rest of the season, because we know this is where he should be in the battle for the podium now between Keith Agliotti and John T. Collard, second and third place.
Wow, this is a great dice. Keith Agliotti's got the bit between his teeth. Papa's pizza oven in front of him. He's going to stoke that fire if he can. Down to that final turn for the penultimate lap, and it's Jordan Agliotti gets that bike, Rob, completely out of shape. He's not slowing down.
He looks so confident on that bike. He's got that bike set up exactly how he wants it, with that bit of movement. Safiso Temba, much better outing in race number 2. Looked all kinds of out of sorts race number 1, but working with Clint Seller, 6-time SA champ, looks like they're getting that bike sorted as we go on board here with Henk Scaling. He's in a real good battle. A little bit further down there, Cole Robeck right on his tail. Wayne Spicer just behind him, and you can hear him screaming as he goes on the inside of Spicer. Does he? Doesn't make the move stick. He's got one more lap to try get ahead of his good mate.
Wayne Spicer's holding him off. This is a great dice going. This is for 14th place.
Yeah.
It's like it's for the World Championship. You know, Mark Marquez, you have to look and learn here.
Exactly. Ian Harwood now, he's got some kind of issue because he's way down the field. He's trying to make a move there on Nigel Brandt, and just ahead of them is Landy Sinden, but the man out front who's going to pick up his first win in only his third race in the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup. Welcome to the racing action. Jordan Agliotti, Ridgeway Race by Break Late sponsored machine. He's going to be loving this, and with his nearest title contender, Graham from Radar, last year's champ, 2-time champ in this class, down there, hopefully going to hold on to a 6th or 7th place finish. This is massive for the championship.
We wait for the checkered flag to come out as Jordan Agliotti, Ridgeway Race Bar, brake late, EBC brakes, and he's using those brakes. Oh, I just love the way he gets that bike out of shape coming down to that final turn. The checkered flag will come out. His fans and friends and family will be going absolutely crazy. Jordan Agliotti wins this race ahead of John T. Collard, Teddy Brooks, Sanjeev Singh, Johan Leroux, Graham from Radar, Gareth Poseidon out of Panaganapathy. Just to mention Keith Agliotti in a post-race strip, they found that he's got a different air filter in the bike. I think it's just a mistake, Rob. No advantage gained, but it will take him out of the result. That's not Jordan Agliotti, but let's chat to him anyway.
Yeah, today was a good day. We were very happy. The bike felt great. It was flawless all day. A little bit unlucky for Graham to break a shift and stuck in third, but the racing was close. It was good. I mean, I can't complain. Bikes all in one piece. And yeah, we got it first. We were first guys to cross the finish line. That's always the aim, eh? Just the guys that help us get out here, granted, Ridgeways Race Park, go check it out. Good food, good drinks. Red Square, obviously, they always do a good job, make sure our thirst is quenched. And the guys at Brake Late, TVC Brakes, yeah, all of you guys, I mean, the wives, the friends, everybody that comes out to support us, it always means the world to us. Thank you so much.
Our rider of the day, the returning Sanjeev Singh. What a brilliant ride in 4th place.
It was fantastic to be here. I missed Friday practice, but got into quali this morning and had a fantastic day. I ended the second race in P5. The bike was fantastic, thanks to MSC, Luke Walters, and my sponsor, Double Apex, Sadiq Matei. The bike was fantastic. It's always great to be racing ZX10 Cup, and I'm looking forward to East London, thanks to Red Square and Bridgestone and Kawasaki. See you in East London.
So there is our TRP podium. We are not too sure if we will see you in East London with everything that's going on at the moment. So make sure you keep a lookout on our social media platforms where we'll keep you up to date and let you know when racing action will continue. All the ZX10 Masters Cup action is proudly brought to you by Red Square for ultimate activation.